Oh, hey, what a great day to die. Oh, hey, what a great day to die. I dive deep beneath my mind. I rest in peace. I dive deep beneath my mind. I rest in peace. Okay. What a great day to die. So why not now get her done? 'Cause baby, there's no tomorrow. So why not now get her done? 'Cause baby, there's no tomorrow. So let's make hay while the sun is shining. Let's make hay while we're feeling okay. Let's make hay while the sun is shining. Let's make hay while we're feeling okay. Are you okay? Are you okay with things, even if they're not in your consciousness? Okay. And it's only in your consciousness, because in the big consciousness, in the reality consciousness, the truth consciousness, it is superbly excellent, joyous, ecstatic, blissed out, divine perfection. So, good morning, soul rebels. I'm happy that we are gathering today in this most auspicious time in our incarnations. The most powerful moment that you could ever conceive of is this one. And I just invite you all right at the outset to make sure you have your Ishta with you, that concept of the divine that is closest to your heart today. If you've meditated, you probably have that connection going. If you haven't, get it going now. And because you want to have that connection, you want to have that presence with you from this moment on till the day that you go consciously to the other side, the great Maha Samadhi of you as a yogi, as a yogini, conscious exit. So let's have that image of the divine with us right now, whether it's Divine Mother, whether it's Christ, whether it's Krishna, whether it's Yogananda, your call. But let's have it right now with us, because as much as you have that presence with you right now, the closer you are to being totally immersed in the divine presence right now, in divine union right now, in the end game right now. So why not now? Let's get her done. Let's invite that divine presence into our hearts. Oh, Mother, oh, beloved Father, Christ, Krishna, Masters, oh, my soul, I surrender my mind to you. I surrender my understanding to you. I surrender my heart to you. I surrender my desires to you. I surrender everything human about me, because I've certainly made a heck of a movie production out of this life. And I'm just caught up in every dang scene. And I think this movie now is more real than you are. So I'm going to change that, Lord, through your grace right now. Only through your grace and your magic touch, so I can be in your presence, realizing that it's not me at all, that my story about me is completely, you throw it out of court, irrelevant. But who I am as an immortal soul, one with you, O Spirit, I am that I am. I am that I am, and I'm all that I am. I am you, you are all. And that is that. All right, we have a heck of a morning this morning. We're going to look back at verse 6 because it's too huge, and it sets up everything, verse 7, 8, and these concluding chapters on this consciousness that we have around being ready. having this dominant theme of God presence with us today, so that at the end of the road here, when it's time to leave this body, that we have that Lord right with us even stronger than ever, because that's the first thing. Wouldn't you choose that to be the first thing, that when you are making that complete letting go, you know it's your time, and whatever's going on in your heart, I hope that it's at peace, and I hope that you have that divine light just wrapped in you and you in it, that you would want that you would want just to be conscious of how beautiful this whole thing is, how beautiful is your eternity, your foreverness, your existence. Wouldn't you want to be greeted at that moment where it's just time that exhale breath goes out and it doesn't come back in? Boom! The arms, cosmic mother, got you. And you realize she's always had me, and she always will have me. All right? Something like that. Well, we're going to make sure in these next 2 or 3 verses here that we have a clear understanding of how important is even the very first verse of the Bhagavad Gita that we had, I don't know how many years ago, but just in case, in this book 1, and this page 4, and it says this: on the holy plain of Kurukshetra, or Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra. That means it's not only the mind, but it's the inner life of you too. It's even in the astral part of you, the whole thing, man, because you are more than just a physical body. On that holy plane of this physical body, Kurukshetra, when my offspring and the sons of Pandu had gathered together, this is the blind mind talking. This is Dhritarashtra. This is not the good guy talking. He just wants to make sure that he wins this upcoming war, because there's no question there's going to be a battle between the Pandu brothers and our not so good qualities, right? The ego, King Ego versus King Soul. When my offspring and the sons of Pandu, those are the good guys, had gathered together, eager for battle, what did they, O Sanjaya? At the end of the life, remember last session? I hope you did, because if not, we're going to kind of go over it a little bit right here, because I'm inviting all of you that these, and I've said this many times now, these verses that we've been covering, this chapter 8, almost from the get-go, is a really, really pivotal information that we can't go back to or read over or meditate on enough. It's everything. How you came into your life, the very first, let's say, very first breath, and then this was set up by the previous life, all right? And the very first verse of the Gita sets you up for how the whole message of the Gita is, right? Who's winning within me? Who's in charge of me right now? Who is with me? Is it just me? Me, the body, the thinking mind, the human? Is that it? Or is there something special about me? And how have I spent this day? And how have I spent this life? Because at the end of this day, as we talked about last week, that we have to learn to live a life in a day. It is so important, because even this quote that you've heard from Corinthians, I think St. Paul said it: I face death every day, brothers and sisters. As surely as I boast about you in Christ Jesus our Lord, I die daily, is another way that they have said this in the Bible, this quote. I die daily. I face death every day. I die daily. So we only have today, okay? Maybe that will relieve you somewhat of worrying about tomorrow. That we just have this moment to be in the loving presence, be with the loving presence consciously. It can't be something you're going to do later, or have your affirmations planned for later, or whatever. It is this moment. It is the most powerful moment you could ever utilize and to spiritualize, to be with that loving presence in the language of your own heart, in the way that you can be with the divine, the intimacy that you're cultivating day after day to make your heart just be on fire when you think of that one love, that first love, that divine beloved, that divine indweller within you, right? That we have that presence. As long as you are conscious of that, you are really on the fast track. You are light speed home. You are light speed going home. If we can hold that presence of God with us right now. What does it say? And there's the one lesson I'm going to quote from it in just a little bit here. Here's it. Just a second. Coming right up. The constant remembrance of God's presence is one of the greatest blessings. The constant remembrance of God's presence, this is Yogananda talking, is one of the greatest blessings. Forgetfulness of God is the worst of all sins. All sins can be purged by the consciousness of God. That means all your karma can be wiped out as soon as you have this beloved with you and you are with the beloved right now. All sins are purged by the consciousness of God, but it is very difficult to purge the sin of forgetfulness unless you love him. And true love and devotion to him can only come by meditating in the right way and living today as the only day, putting first things first, that dominant thought at the end of the day. What's it going to be, my dears? Remember, we talked pretty deeply about that last week. And at the end of the day, that dominant theme hopefully is mucho time with the divine today. So it takes care of any of the other craziness that we did today, or times when we were just off doing our own ego thing, right? That it is the dominant theme today. And then we programmed our subconscious mind to go to sleep with that high note in mind, so that when we wake up, we start there and we continue to ascend today from the high point of yesterday. Remember we talked about that? It's so important. This is our life process. This is our day-to-day process. This is the key that's going to open the door. The door that divine is hiding behind, and that all of your beautiful soul qualities are ready to emerge from and just blossom forth, right? Your self-realization is going to blossom forth. So it's difficult to purge the sin of forgetfulness unless you love him, and true love for him can only come by meditating and living in the right way. To those who are just waiting for the visitation of divine love, it will never come. God responds through law. He does not answer blind prayers. So how important is today? You silently now, lovingly conversing, being with that love more than you are with these words, because they're one and the same thing. That loving presence and the words and the vibration in these words are one and the same thing. That's the only reason we're here, is to take this sacred teaching of complete liberation and added to that the guru's love and constant protection and promise that you're going to be with you on those last dying breaths. If you're with him today and every day, right, that you're going to be beyond spectacularly happy and content and full of joy and full of life force. Nothing can get your goat. All right. So then we talked about that trumpet sound, Gabriel's trumpet. Right as you're passing, the paramount habit of thought. This is just a little review from last week, because it really does set up our stream for today and for the next couple of weeks, I think. That paramount habit of thought and feeling during a man's years on earth is the most important factor on our day of judgment. The day that we leave these bodies and we have the life review, right? And we see how we did. just like we did in the first verse. How are we doing? How are we doing? That real beautiful self, capital S introspection, constant self and not self-analysis that you think you know something that you can actually believe your thoughts that say that this is how I'm doing today. Are you still believing in that? Are you still the one that's making the decision on how you are today? The next verse coming up, it says you got to give your mind and your understanding to God. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to your mind. It's got to be with the divine, and you just like purring like a kitty, or happy as a clam at high tide, con totally muy contento in the arms of Divine Mother is another way to say that. And you don't give a hoot about any kind of thoughts. You're in a higher vibration, ready to go higher and higher. Well, you're going to have the ultimate experience again at the end of this life, whenever that may be, and you do not know. This is what makes it even more fun, because we have to be now today as vigilant as we would be if we know we only had a day left. Really, really, actually, right? So that dominant thought, and you can take charge. You can be proactive. You can have your dominant thought if you so choose to be with God today in a way that you've never been with the beloved before. Practicing the presence, just loving him, coming back to that's my last day. I'm not going to waste it on thinking anything else. I don't even have time to say goodbye to people. I'm going to let the Lord give them a little kiss on the soul, right? I'm too busy loving the Lord. I'm too busy loving them, virtually, in the virtual reality, in the unseen, invisible, intangible, non-physical reality. It'd make a huge difference if you knew that you only had a few hours left. And this has got to be the top priority practice that we have. Otherwise, we forget. Otherwise, Satan, it's so easy for the delusion to get you. All it has to do is just pop up a little desire that you still have while you're meditating. Just throw it in there. And then boom, you're off thinking about it and you want it. That's it. Or make another little distraction, and that's it. Once it gives you the little plaything, the little thing to appease you as a human, then that's usually enough. That's all it has to do. It can just sit back for the rest of the day and be dreaming up other ways to get other people trapped in the same trap of forgetfulness of God, which is the worst sin of all. All right? So this final thought, inexorably produced by the tenor of a lifetime, start today. Be aware of yourself, self-aware, and monitor how many times you're with the divine, so that beyond a shadow of the doubt, by the end of this day, the tenor of your day is going to be one that puts a big smile on your lips and brings a beautiful feeling in your heart, and a contentment in there, and a quietness in there. And you feel beyond human, okay? You feel who you really truly are. Okay? Does that make some sense to all of you this morning? Because we want to know what the tenor, what the dominant thought, the dominant motive, or that predominant feeling that dominated me today. We got to know what that is, because that is setting up the Gabriel's trumpet that announces your next destination. And this, quite frankly, happens. I'll read. Gabriel's trumpet is the sound of the cosmic home that ushers man from the physical body at death. So I'm going to invite you all to have a virtual experience of dying daily now, once we collect all these verses, and we can go back, and then we can maybe do extra time, making sure we're all really, really, really practicing this I die daily. Like, they now put on, I haven't done it yet, but Trisha has, and the kids have these things. You put it on, you're in a virtual world. Well, you're in a crazy madhouse world if you don't even know that your life, the way you think and analyze and what you know, right? And how you think, what you want to do, and all this ego stuff, that is the same kind of craziness. You're just crazy and you don't know it. And you're in this unreal so-called reality of being driven by the manas, sense, mind, and ego tripping at the same time, right? So this trumpet is the sound of the cosmic Om that ushers man from the physical body at death. So whenever you chant Om, is a great reminder to come back to the loving presence, because the first thing that you want to have happen when you're transitioning is that presence with you. It's going to take your hand, it's going to hold you. Love is going to take you across, not fear. Happiness is going to take you across, not like, oh, regret that you're going to miss out or something, or you're going to miss your dinner that night or something, right? You want to have the loving presence with you now, my dears. So it's the dominant thought for tonight and the thing that sets up your tomorrow, because it's setting up your tomorrow is today's dominant thought. Don't you see the connection between the two? And if we're really going to be without fear at death, if we're really going to be with God at death, you let me know if there's another practice, another way that we can go about this. And I'll be the first one to listen completely wholeheartedly to you. But for now, let's give something a go, right? Rather than even forgetting what we talked about last Gita stream. We didn't, not studying this book to forget this stuff. We're studying this book to get in tune with our higher self and the divine loving presence, to wake up ourselves through God's grace and through our, passion to get closer and closer to that divine beloved every single breath, every single moment, closer to you, beloved. The Om vibration, being the repository of all creative blueprints, presents to each person at the time of death the self-created pattern of this next existence. A human being leading a meaningless mechanical existence or an evil life, little realized that on the last day, she or he will bring judgment upon herself with a Gabriel's trumpet of karma proclaiming her fate. We want to have this all going on every single day. Is this every single day we die? Every single day we go through the process that is really going to happen one day, and we're going to be experts at it. So there's absolutely no fear or worry about anything anymore. No more. No more. Okay? And then if a person is tired of material life or evil habits, why should you continue in that way to the end, only to be required to go with that same kind of obnoxious living after death? So if you're not honest with yourself, open, honest, and willing, as it says in AA, you're not going to stay sober. So, we stay busy and even more busy when we haven't really taken a day and lived it to the highest of our potential. And then another day goes by, and then it's kind of like, it's like you're kind of overeating and you can't stop, but you feel just so sluggish and so slow. So you have to be dead honest when you introspect after the stream today and walk with the divine today, or not walk with the divine today, where you stand. And if you're sluggish and this and that, it's because you just filled your mind or whatever with nonsense for a couple of days. Who knows what that is? But that's only a good thing, because it's going to make you realize, my God, every moment is the most sacred one. Everything I do, everyone I see, everywhere I go, it's not about the outward. It's about me staying close to my one beloved. And I will not sacrifice that for anything, because I'm sacrificing everything for that. But not that. I don't sacrifice my being close to God. This and that can wait, but not my search for God, right? So you don't want to have a tomorrow, if you're out of sorts a little bit and not on your A game. You don't want tomorrow to be that or worse, because every day we're not on our A game, it gets harder. we start to compromise ourselves. You know how it is being human. You know, you're either on fire or you aren't. And to keep this fire lit, it's going to take everything you are, my dears, everything, everything. Not later, not after you get some more desires fulfilled. I know there's so many of those still lurking in our consciousnesses, and that's all the Satan has to do is get you a thought about that, and then you want it, and that's all. Then he says, "Fine, I'm good. I don't have to think about this person. They're going down that way again. I don't have to worry about them. They're not going to be thinking of God. They're going to be thinking about fulfilling this desire." And that could be just a way that they want to share something with somebody, or some kind of way they want to convince somebody of something, or their own rationalization that I'd love to listen to themselves say something to somebody because they think they know something, right? Waste of time. So each person should endeavor to lead a righteous life that is at its termination, and he'll not have a guilty conscience and reborn among evil doers. So see how happy you are at the end of the day, and find out what makes you happy. I know the only thing that makes me happy is what I share with you. And if I don't do that, I'm as miserable as the best of them. I'm as depressed as the best of them. Trust me. It's do or die. And hoka hey, today is a great day to die, not to do. All right. So by practice of non-attachment, the yogi dissolves all the inclinations, desires of her heart, because that's the greatest tool that Satan has, is to put that desire in your heart for something that's going to distract you from the main purpose, dominant purpose of today, one day. That's all, few hours left for today, right? How do you want to spend it? How precious is that? So this non-attachment of the yogi dissolves all the inclinations, desires of his heart, and remains in conscious ecstasy with the Om vibration. Because the Om vibration, it is through the opening in the spiritual eye that the astral vehicle of man emerges from the physical body at death through the Om vibration. So to get to know the Om, you get to know how you're going to make a transition from this storybook of your life into the reality of what is. All right, to know the Om. So the Om is continuous ecstasy. The Om vibration is a wise thing, the expression of God in creation. When death arrives, the yogi finds Gabriel's trumpet issuing from the cosmic Om, ushering him into the transcendental spheres of God. These are lines here that are meditations. Our daily dying is like the best of these games, but it's the reality that we're visualizing, where most people would say, I don't have time for that, right? That we're going to go through the whole process of dying every single day. This is why we're not going to just pass through these pages. This is why I'm kind of repeating from last week, because I know how easy it is to forget what we even talked about last week. So the yogi finds Gabriel's trumpet issuing from the cosmic Om, ushering him into the transcendental spheres of God. Just imagine your meditation, this beautiful trumpet sound, and this the Om vibration, just so protective of you. It's Divine Mother. It's Divine Mother. It's her voice. It's her lullaby. The Om, Ma, Ma. She's got you in her hug. I give back my soul to spirit. I give back my mind to spirit. Narayanji's had enough of those immersions with me to know that we did that song for sure. I think, as Narayan, are you the only one on the stream today? Oh, see, that's another thing. Well, to me, everything is so important these days, right? So you don't miss the really important things. You can miss the other things, but the delusion will make that notice what's happening, and it really loves to distract you when there's something really soulful that really is important to know, and it'll make you distracted to think that the other thing is more important. And then, yeah, it's nice. This is the only thing. Thank you, James. Thank you for letting us know you're here, buddy. It's so important. It's so important. What are we hiding from? This is your tribe, or it's a possibility for a tribe. People who are completely on fire for complete liberation. A soul rebel, right? I'm a soul rebel, a rebel on fire for complete emancipation, liberation, and happiness for all, prosperity and freedom, freedom, freedom. I'm a soul rebel, a rebel on fire for complete liberation. I'm a soul rebel, a rebel on fire for complete illumination, liberation, illumination, and happiness for all, prosperity, freedom, freedom, freedom. That's another thing. We downplay how important we're in jail. We're prisoners of our own self here. We abuse ourselves every day. We don't give the cells in our body even a chance to have enough energy in it, right? With our still mind thinking craziness. It has no juice to it. But the thought of the beloved that moves your heart, stirs your soul, brings life force into the body. Woo! That's what your body is screaming for. And that includes your mind. That includes the ego self is even wanting the leader. Where are you? I'm so tired of making things horrible for people. Because it's your soul. It's just doing its job. So finally, ushering us into transcendental spheres of God, the Om will. If you had a good day, if you've had a good life, Larry Mahashai went through this Om into the infinite and resurrected himself in a physical body one day after that of his death. So we've got to, that's going to happen. And if you're just going to wait around and be immersed in life and in fear of death and doing your own thing and afraid to show up and whatever, right? Afraid to be proactive, to really stimulate not only yourself, but just through your vibration, inspire others and just go for it. Why not now get her done? Because baby, there's no tomorrow. Let's make hay while the sun is shining. Let's make hay while we're feeling okay, right? So that's kind of a little recap from last week. And now verse 7. Therefore, now that you know how to live a life in a day, now that you know how important it is that you take proactive, go get it this, willpower, whatever you need, that today it's a God day. I reserve this day for my soul. I reserve this day to walk with the Lord. I reserve this day to surrender into Divine Mother. One day. And I'm going to go for it. And then I'll see how she wants to direct me and see what she wants to reveal to me. Right? For today only. Because now this next verse, this is what Krishna is asking. Therefore, remember me always. So he's saying the same thing that I just recapped about. And what I always talk about. We just have the now. We just have today. And I don't care where you are and what you're doing and who you were, who you're with. This is between you and the divine. And you can have it going on like crazy, like fireworks on the inside, so that you don't even know that you're with people or you're doing this or you're doing that. That all you know that you were with God and God, or God is with you and you are with God. That's it. That's your high note. That's the tenor of today. But get her done now. Because by the end of the day, if we don't, we could be feeling pretty damn tired, right? And we don't have the energy to even consider some of these very, very, very lofty, high vibrational truths and practices. Remember me always and engage thyself in the battle of activity. Engage yourself in this battle of activity, in this war between you, your ego, and your soul. How are we doing? How are you doing, Arjuna? Arjuna is so beautiful at your third chakra because he tunes in with Krishna with all his willpower. He's the greatest devotee because that's the one that that the other pandus and the chakras tune to, because Krishna is the one that has the most love for the Krishna. The others do too, but there's something about Arjuna at the third chakra, right? That's going to take you into the activity of today and the activity of your mind stuff and the activity of the desires that are swirling within you and the world news today and what's going to happen next and so on and so forth, into that battle din of activity. That's Arjuna. That's Krishna / Arjuna. Surrender to me. Here it is. This is verse 7, chapter 8. Surrender to me thy mind and thine understanding. That's being nice. Because it's our self-analysis that we're completely obsessed with. What do you think mind thinking is? It's your own obsession with analyzing from a place of complete ignorance. We're skilled in our ignorance, Yogananda said. We're absolutely skilled in it. And believing that mind. So Krishna's saying, right now, chapter 8, verse 7, give me that mind. Surrender to me thy mind and your understanding, your petty little self-analysis on what you think you know or how you're going to go about it. I'm not ready for this. I didn't. Give it back. Surrender it. Thus, without doubt, thou shalt come unto me. Without doubt. And I just love Yogananda's. I pulled up I was up in the mountains on retreat, and I sat on a, actually it was the jacuzzi, outdoors jacuzzi. It was in the forest, this little cabin. And I sat there. It was just the right moment. And I had my harmonium and I did the God, God, God song. Yeah, I have it. If someone's interested in hearing it, just that moment in time of doing his song, because this is what we're talking about. Close your eyes. Make a vow right now, as the Buddha did. Beneath the banyan bough, he says, on sacred seat I vow, until life's mysteries I solve, until I obtain the priceless Lord. Lord, though bones and fleeting flesh dissolve, I'll leave this posture nevermore. Make a vow, my dears, right now, to be with God today. That's it. Throw everything else aside. Honestly, I promise. Okay, hey, it's a great day to die. And listen to this song. From the depths of slumber, as I ascend the spiral stairway of wakefulness, I whisper, God, 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 thou art the food, and as I break my fast of nightly separation from thee, I taste thee and mentally say, God, God, God. No matter where I go, the spotlight of my mind ever keeps turning leaning on thee, and in the battle den of activity, my silent war cry is ever silent. War cry is ever God, 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 God. When boisterous storms of trial shriek and worries howl at me, and worries howl at me, I'll drown their noises, loudly chanting God, 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 God. When my mind weaves dreams with threads of memory on that magic cloth, I do emboss God, 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 God. Every night in times of deepest sleep, my peace dreams and calls joy, joy, joy. And my joy comes singing evermore. God, 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 God. In waking, eating, dreaming, sleeping, working, serving, meditating, chanting, divinely loving, my soul constantly hums, my soul constantly hums, my soul constantly hums, unheard by any. God, 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 God. Take your vow again and again and again on this sacred seat that I'm sitting on right now. I'll leave this posture nevermore until I obtain the priceless Lord. I'll leave this posture nevermore. Oh. All right. Thank you for that pause, everyone. I just thought that since the verse itself says that we need to engage in this battle of activity, the battle den, Yogananda says in his poem, God, 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 of activity, my silent war cry is ever God, 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 God. Even if you just went on a tear saying the holy name, Ma, 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 right? Christ or God, Christ, Guru, God, Christ, Guru, God, Christ, Guru, God, Christ, Guru, until you break some ice. Till the ice of indifference, the ice that more something more important that you've got to be duped somewhere and got to do something is more important. No, practice the presence of God is the most important, and you're going to be in perfect timing with everything. Trust the one who is the one operating you and is the one who's dreaming you right now. This is really important, this little commentary here on this verse 7 here. Krishna advises, says Yogananda, oh devotee, I'm the dreamer. This is a big chunk of wisdom I'm asking you all to start chewing on. You've heard it before, though. many times, but I'm talking about chew it in a practical way, chew it in a real way, chew it as this is the consciousness I'm going to hold for myself. This is something I'm never going to forget, right? Because it's the wisdom light. It's the wisdom that I have my Arjuna sword out for. This is a wisdom. This is the wisdom. Without the wisdom, we're off track. We're off course, right? It's that North Star. It's that star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright. Guide us to thy perfect light. This is star of wonder, star of light, part 2. The star in the east. This is important, how important these words coming up are. This is our star. This is our pole star. I have made thee pole star of my life. Though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, still I see the path through thy mercy. Yogananda's chant, pole star. Though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, still I see the path through thy mercy. O devotee, I'm the dreamer of the whole panorama of existence. This is the dream. Source is dreaming us. Source is dreaming us. Lock it in. Source is creation. And Source lives beyond this creation. This is his hobby. Everything in creation is a dream. The Lord's dream. Don't mess with it. Surrender. Surrender that mind. Surrender your understanding, your analysis about anything. Surrender your intellect. All of it. I'm the dreamer of the whole panorama of existence, Yogananda goes on to comment. Behold your body and the battle of daily activities as dreams. As dreams emanating from my cosmic consciousness. You see what I'm saying? If we can just stop now in our tracks, going nowhere slowly, right? And lock these truths, these pivotal truths. Without these truths, we're going to be spinning yet again in another life. We're going to have that regret at the end too. If you have any inkling of this, I don't care, and get rid of your self-analysis about where you think you are. Just go. Just go. Go into the light. Just take this stuff now and be completely dedicated to it. Completely. Behold your body and battle of daily activity as dreams emanating from my cosmic consciousness. If you prevent your mind, as you know your mind to be, and its sensory impressions, and you know what that is, and your discriminative intellect that is often influenced, your discrimination, your soul discrimination, that is often influenced by the heart or feeling from being emotionally agitated. This mind of yours, the sensory impressions that come to you, your scheduling, your plans, all of it, your agenda, your intellect that is often influenced by the feeling in the heart from being emotionally agitated. If you can just take this truth, this is the third big jewel here in this short little commentary. From being emotionally agitated by the dream drama on earth. I remember another quote Yogananda said, I never forgot it. He said, it is your emotional involvement with outer life, outer earth life, that is the cause of all your suffering. Bingo. Your emotional involvement. Here it is again, worded in a different way, but now it has a new ring. All truth now, when you hear it, it's going to have a new ring. it's going to have a new effect on you, my dears. Only because of this deeper commitment that each of you are going to make. You didn't know that 2023 coming up, it was the year of years for you, but your soul does and did. And it's rocking. It's rocking out for you. All you got to do is rock with your soul. Forget about this world. Forget about the rest of it. And give your soul top priority. Okay? Give the truth of you top priority. Yoga in a song that we used to sing often as a soul band. Rise above the crowd of your own crap. Rise above the crowd and the crap of the collective consciousness. Rise above the crowd. Rise above the crowd and step out of the choking monotony of ordinary existence. Step out of the choking monotony of ordinary existence into a finer, more colorful life of achievement and ever new peace. So open your eyes. See who you are. Awaken your heart and feel your soul power. And feel your soul power, 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 and feel your soul power. Yeah, if you can prevent your mind with its sensory impressions and your discriminative intellect that is often influenced by the heart or feeling from being emotionally agitated by the dream drama on earth, and keep them beholding my blessed being. You know, the most important part of your physical body is right here, the spiritual eye. You have a new love affair now with this part of your body, the spiritual eye. This is the place that you descended to when it was time to come into another incarnation, the Om vibration, and the light, right? And it's the one that you're going to see as we go along here. I just can't wait. This is going to take us a little while, but we got a plan. We really have a beautiful plan. When the life force leaves the body through the Om vibration, ushering you up the chakras, bang, 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 into the spiritual eye, through the spiritual eye, and into the divine light. That's the next verse and the verse after that. Right? So you gotta have a new love affair with the spiritual eye. I see the light. I see the light. Most beautiful light. Because this medulla is a cosmic energy. I like to say it's a magic carpet that when you're chanting Om, Om, Ma, 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 she's going to shoot you through the center of your brain, right into this place where you can just jettison into the light of your astral body and feel the cosmic energy of your astral body. Because we have, it's like this, like we're like this cosmic jet being, cosmic missile, or rocket, cosmic rocket. And we have 3 stages to it. One is that we start off and we're just this physical thing, need all the gross energies to get this thing off the ground now from the gravity and all that. But then we disengage from the physical body. That's when we die and go into our astral body. But it doesn't stop there because we have another body. So then we need to get into the astral beautiful part of this universe and our astral body, and even the light and the energy isn't quite the destination either, because we have to drop that part of the rocket eventually and go into the causal body of us, which is just pure consciousness, this closest thing to pure spirit, right? And then we got to clean up shop there. We got to take care of all our chronic delusion thoughts about anything in all these three aspects, get rid of the chronic thoughts of delusion across the board, and then boom, the three bodies are dead. Okay, it's a great way to die, and we're a free soul bird. We're gonna get to that, okay? I'm just warming you up. We're gonna make this journey every single day. Every single day. We've got it all here in these verses. Let me just finish this one, okay? This is all we're gonna have time for today, but I'm so happy not to rush through this. I want this to stick. At some point, this stuff needs to stick. It needs to be there as fodder or burning logs, or logs ready to be burned in the fire of your complete awareness, sharp, urgent awareness of God's presence with you right now. We can't let that go, right? Yeah. For anything. So that now keen awareness is going to keep you emotionally aware. I mean, super aware, soulfully aware of the emotional agitation caused by this dream drama on earth, and keep you, though, beholding my blessed beam that projects these pictures. You will experience no terror. Without doubt, you shall enter my transcendental dreamless state. You will know no terror. You will know no terror. When you know this is just this huge dream, and all you need to do is hold the hand. All you need to do is never leave the hug. All you need to do is to not do, but just arouse your soul power, soul power, soul power, soul power, along with this daily wisdom feeding of your cells with this high, high, high vibrational truth, right? And you just go for it with all your intuitive imagination. We're going to put those things on, and if there's ever a time for intuitive imagination, it is for dying daily, as we just start the process, and you'll see all the steps that we are needed when we practice that dying to ourself every single day. Okay, it's all laid out for us. The wise devotee so deeply meditates in the bliss of Kriya Yoga that he or she does not forget that blessed consciousness during the daily battle of activity. That wise devotee, there's that wisdom, so deeply meditates and practices the presence, we shall add. During the daily battle of activity in which the sensory mind and discriminative intellect are perforce engaged, oh yeah, they're engaged. They're married to the delusion. When he or she is able to always act with the whole consciousness absorbed in God, when we are always able to act with our whole, we have every day to get to practice. But this is what you're here for. You want to be an expert? You want to be good at something? This is what we're here to be good at. Waking up as an immortal. Did anyone ever figure that out? What do you want to be when you grow up? And it's all this other stuff. You're going to be somebody in the world? You're not even a somebody. You're a soul. You're enough. You're a child of the infinite, man. You're a royalty, to say the least. When we are always able to act with the whole consciousness absorbed in God, at death, you become, he becomes, she becomes fully one with him. At night, when the day is done, was it his prayer at dark, or for evening, Yogananda? It says one line is, and I made the whole prayer into a song. It said, one by one, I shut the door to my senses, lest the fragrance of the rose or the song of the nightingale distract my love from thee. And then, in the peace of the night, I worship thee. In the peace of the night, I worship thee. Right? So one by one, I shut the door to my senses, lest the fragrance of the rose or the song of the nightingale distract my love for you, my Lord. When we are always able to act with our whole conscience absorbed in God at death, every night we become fully one with Him. This is what we practice now. Our oneness is there already. But without practice, without you virtually creating intuitively, this is the truth of truths. This isn't some fantasy game, right? This isn't just something to waste time with. This is what's going to activate your whole entire soulful blossoming of soul realization, of joy, ever new, ever new, ever new. Okay? So that ends verse 7. And then we're going to get into a short little verse 8. And then 9 and 10 are going to be a humdinger. That's when we're going to get into our processes. That's when we're going to talk about the afterlife and what happens at the afterlife, and all the studies that the NDE people have done. So correlates to everything here. Okay? Let God and Divine Mother and your own soul, my dears, process this for you today. Okay? Take one outstanding gotcha, hit you in the heart, felt it, moved you. Take that one thing, breathe it, receive it, be it, and fantasize about it. Okay? All right? And then let your soul keep guiding you that way. Just be with God. God will guide you. You don't have to, you have one priority: be with the Lord. He's your shepherd. He's your soul. He's your everything. All right, so Brooke was on. Yeah, Benny showed up here to see that he's put a little have amazing week. So rebels have to leave early, take my parents to the airport. I know one thing you have to do before taking your parents to the airport is to get God going, stirred up in your heart so that you're inflamed with that presence with you, Benny, as you take your parents to the airport. First things first, bro. Right? We can talk like this because we're soul rebels on fire for complete liberation. So, Brookie, same love to you. Clark's, big time love to you. Narayan G, big time love to you. Maybe I should close off the stream now because I want the video not to do this right in a second here. All right, blessings, 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 blessings. Let God open our heart. That God opens our mind, that the divine forces just rush in as we become empty, as we give back everything. May only the divine forces, only spirit forces, only light forces, only love forces come rushing in to take us completely over. It's still Christmas time, my dears. And the new year, new beginnings, new understandings, new realizations, new joys, new happiness, everything ever new. God bless us all. Namaste.